Welcome. Feedback Fridays number 4. Week 4. I can't believe we've done 4 of these already. It's so cool. And there we go. On the right camera now. So, this has been a great time past several weeks of discovering new singers, being able to offer cool feedback for you guys, and learning more about some of the things that you guys are struggling with, some of the questions that you have. It's been really fun, and it's fostered some neat community and some great conversations. So, and good morning, or good evening, or good middle of the night, wherever you happen to be, we're going to get into this. Okay, our first submission from Cynthia. First of all, thank you for your lessons and the courses. I have learned a lot from you and have improved much more than before. Late last week for this submission, below is a link to the YouTube video. Not a good recording, but just wanted to know what I should be working on to improve more. Great. Here is Cynthia. Nice.
If I had to, I would put myself right beside you. So let me ask, would you like that? Would you like that? And I don't mind if you say this love is the last time. So now I ask, do you like that? Do you like that? No! Something's getting in the way. Something's just about to break. I will try to find my place in the diary of kings. So tell me how it should be.
Nice. Yeah, Breaking Benjamin. Good job. Stop. There we go. Yeah. Very, very good. Is that you screaming at the beginning? Great sounding scream. Good airflow control. You're able to hold that out. It doesn't sound like you're losing it. Sounded awesome. This song, I've covered it a couple different times on the channel in terms of evaluating Benjamin Burnley's style, and it's interesting. You captured some of that in terms of that forward singing. I would encourage you to take that one step further. A lot of times with the forward singing mentality, would you like that? Would you like that? Would you? Forming the vowels from here forward, middle of the mouth forward. And really, if you practice talking like this, we don't talk like that, but he absolutely has a bit of that in his singing. Would you like that? As opposed to, would you like that? Would you like that? And you were somewhere in between. Something's getting in the way. Something's getting in the way. And then, of course, the no! I always like to choose that was a little higher pitched than what Benjamin Burnley does. And you did a good job of isolating that scream from the singing. But everything that Benjamin Burnley does is to a greater degree more exaggerated than what you did. And I think that a lot of that is just, part of it is recording. That's a recording that he was able to go over and over again and listen to. But part of it is just confidence and realizing that you can exude over the top a bit, but when it gets recorded, it doesn't sound over the top. It just sounds extra engaged. So keep that in mind. Great job. All right. Let's see here. We have something from Hunton27. I don't have an actual name, but I'm pretty sure that's partly a name. And the questions are, how's the tone? And how not to crack. Here we go.
Giving everything I need.
Cornell.
I'll give you everything I own. I give anything could at least be ours alone. I'm giving everything I could to blow it down and gone. Blow down and then blow up the outside. Blow up the outside. Blow.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Blow! 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 Down!
Nice. Good job. And thank you for submitting something that showed the struggle, right? Like, that is part of what makes this format valuable, is the ability to listen to something, watch something, and, oh, wow, that was really awesome, and, oh, I see the struggle. So, first thing I'm going to say is, this is a tough song. That's a tough melody. But there's ways to approach this, even though it doesn't sound like Cornell is approaching it the way that I'm going to suggest. He is. And then he is adding intensity on the other side. I'll explain that here in a minute. Blow up! Now, if I'm going to sing, I'll give you everything I need. I'll give you everything I own. If I'm going to sing that, notice my countenance. I'll give you everything I need. I'll give you everything I own. So, I am not reaching for those notes at all. I am using a thin mix to access them first. What I saw in this video, and this is really, really good to hear, is I saw you reaching for those notes with your neck. I saw it in your hand language, in your body language. Give you everything I need. And this isn't a mockery of what you were doing. It's merely an observation. Give you everything I need. We'll give you everything I own. You're harboring tension right here. You're harboring the need to reach up to the note, and it's tiring you out before you can get through the whole phrase or the whole set of phrases. Think about approaching it like this, and I've done a lot of videos on this. Go back to my original Chris Cornell Dying Cat video, that how to start to sing like Chris Cornell, and you can get a sense for the way to start getting into these higher melodies light. If I'm going to start, let me get the key real quick. Nothing seems to break me. Blow up the outside. Blow up the outside world. Blow up the outside. Notice how initially thin I am? I'm going to thin it out even more. Blow, blow, blow up the outside. Notice my pitch goes a little weird, right? Blow up the outside. But notice the amount of control now that I'm starting to get. And I'm very whiny and brash. Oh, blow up the outside. Blow up the outside. But as I let that muscle memory sink in, watch what happens. Blow up the outside world. It starts to blend in to that more chesty sort of feel. Yeah, it's still thinner than what Cornell does on the studio recording, but this is the approach, and this is how to get here. And my approach, what I'm showing you right now, is substantiated in almost every live performance you listen to of Chris Cornell, particularly in the 90s. It's just hard. We hear that gruffness, and we hear, nothing seems to break me. And then we hear the blow up the outside, blow up the outside. We hear that more brash, gritty thing, and we think we need to reach for it, but it's not what he's doing. Yes, Paul Hutton, thank you for submitting a non-perfect attempt. That was fantastic. It opened up an opportunity to do a little mini lesson on mixed voice. Thank you so much for your submission. Awesome. Okay. Coming in at number 3. Carol Phillips. Thanks so much for giving us an opportunity to send clips. Soprano. Spent the last 2 to 3 years working in chest voice and belting. Felt pretty comfortable. Diving more into the understanding of mixed voice. No understanding about it previously. More recently started to add fry and grit. Awesome. Been told by others that my voice still sounds too heady and not powerful enough. As a female, I think it's challenging because we use a lot of head voice. Yep, totally. Following mixed voice advice on YouTube, I need to use a more robust sound up there. Some teachers on YouTube teach not to use head voice at all for metal singing. You seem to encourage it. I do. In singing in general. Obviously, we can only take chest up so far. Yes, this is true. Are they just referring to you don't want a thin falsetto sound? Not necessarily. Took real courage to send this. Great, I'm excited to hear this. Do I look at what stuff? Do I look at the chat? I do look at the chat sometimes. That's okay, Carol. And I try to stay engaged with the chat. Some. Kind of tough to be engaged with the chat and the emails and everything at the same time, but I do try to check in. Okay, here we go. From Carol.
Cross that you find ahead. No, no, no one will answer.
Yes.
Soul slipped away. It belongs to Queen of the Reich. You're fading away. No, no, no. The Queen of the Reich is slipping away. Yeah, the Queen of the Reich.
Some really, really good things going on there, for sure. Strong, powerful belt. Let's see what. Put this in my voice here. La, 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 Queen of the Reich! It's going to sound a little different with me doing it. I'm going to lower it for some of my examples so I can place it in a similar way in my voice as she is placing it in her voice. First of all, the belt tone is just great. Queen of the Reich! Aye! Nice open throat. Excellent energy. Forward placement. You're getting your body involved in a way that is not tension based. It's energy based. This is the difference between tension and intensity. You are showing intensity, but not exhibiting signs that you are harboring tension. This is a very, very good thing. Now, there were two tones, or two sort of placements, I'll say, even within your chest voice, that really shined. One of those is going to help you unlock grit and blend up into your mixed voice. I'm going to do a demonstration for you. Oh, here's a belted note with a vibrato, a strong vibrato. Right? Like that. Now, if I take that, that is resonating in the front of my face. It's like that ball of energy in the front of my mouth, like I've talked about on the channel. Yeah! But if I go, and I intentionally place it more nasal, I'm actually putting a lot of sound through my nose. I heard you do that. You were doing it on certain vowels. This is sort of an Axl Rose sort of thing. Also, the darkness and, stuff like that. When you went to that more nasal sound, and you can hear it sort of in my voice, it unlocks, sometimes unintentionally, a little bit of grit. Because when you push things through your nasal passage, you drop your soft palate, you raise the back of your tongue just a little bit. And what it does is if your support is in tune with what's going on, you end up using a bit more push, and you naturally stumble upon adding a bit of compression on your primary sound. So if I'm just going to compress this, holding back air, right? But if I nasal it, push higher, higher, higher. You see, what's happening is the compression, the nasality results in a positioning that makes it easier to use that fry sounding grit. I don't think that your get a drink here. I don't think that your head voice sounds bad in the way you're using it at all. I think that there is some room for more strategy. And I do this, you hear me do this on the channel all the time, where if you've got a line like, save the queen. Just, that's the thing I'm going to use. Save the queen. Like that. if I'm going to use head voice up here, save, maybe I'll use head voice here, save, but I'm going to connect it to a part in my range where I can use head voice, save, and then chest voice, save, or a thinner mix, and then transition down to chest voice. So what I'm doing is I'm blending my registers across a line. Save the queen! Save the queen! What this is doing is it's a neat performance-y thing, and I heard you doing a little of this. Strategy. Where are those notes in your range? How can you capitalize on your head voice and use it? Save the queen! By grounding it in that chestier root, you're able to use your head voice, but substantiate it within the line. Great, great job. All right, let's see here. Go live when you started to eat. Yeah, let's see here. It's great work. Just getting caught up on the comments here. Kashab, can anyone help you? Let's see here. What do you need help with? I'm not seeing the rest of the chat. Okay, while we're waiting on that, let's go on. Great submissions. This is number 4. How do you connect those 3 registers? Inner sound, great question. There's a YouTube video that I've done called Falsetto versus Head Voice, What Matters and What Doesn't. Go search that on the channel, and you will, that explains very succinctly how to connect head and chest voice. So we're working on number 4. This is from Dougie, and he's from Eastern Europe. Before we get into this, guys, and I've done this every week so far, I want to give you guys an opportunity. It sounds like we've got quite a few Discover Your Voice students on here already, which is awesome. I love having the support of the students here as well. I'm going to paste a link in here. If you guys want to go deeper with me and you'd like me to come alongside you in a more personal way, consider joining my course, Discover Your Voice. And I have pasted a link into the chat there. I work on an invite system for the most part. I do seasonal launches too, so that I can welcome people into the course in manageable sizes and give you more attention than the typical online always open course. So I am actively responding to emails. I'm actively responding to course comments, and I'm active in the Facebook group, interacting with everybody. The fact that I work on a invite basis allows me to be more personally attentive to the people going through the course. And when you sign up for the course, you are supporting me in being the online vocal coach. I'm able to offer stuff like Feedback Fridays and post YouTube videos every week and do sing-like videos and interact so well in the course because of those of you who choose to support me through the enrollment of the course. And you know, if you ask people on the chat, you'll see that I'm very involved in your process as a learner and as a singer. So consider joining the course. Follow that link, request an invite. If you have any questions about it, drop them in the chat. The Facebook group is open, and you can request an invite to that. No, it is not an open group. The Facebook group is a closed group, but you can request an invite to the group. So, okay. Number 4. Paul offers, how often do the courses start? Enrollment opens and closes based on the type or based on the amount of people finishing the course. Okay, so that it could be a couple days depending on if people are finishing and getting through the material. It could be a couple weeks, depending on when slots open up. Most of the time when people join the course, they get into it and they go for it. And so I have a pretty regular entrance and exit. But this invitation system allows me to make sure that we don't get, too many people involved at the same time. So I hope that answers your question, Paul. There's the link again. And here is number 4 from Dougie. Cool, got some guitar playing. Here we go. Nice. Very nice tone. Yeah. I'm gonna go back. Show you the way. Very, very nice tone. Very nice navigation with your different range. With different ranges. Within. Very nice navigation of your range within this song. Also, you had a nice subtle grit, nice subtle compression that felt natural. And I think phrasing-wise, you nailed the original intent. It really, really sounds nice. Real quick, I want to answer the question: is the course the same for everyone, or do you have a personal way for everyone? There is base curriculum for the course, so it's a 12-week journey, and that's the same. There's also Going Deeper challenges for those of you who want to dive even deeper into certain topics. There is an option to do a more customized version. I call it Discover Your Voice Pro, and that includes a face-to-face 1-hour consult. And so you can actually meet with me face-to-face. So, anyway, let's work with some Pink Floyd here. One of the things that's present in the original song is when we go up to that high note, and he does it perfectly. Away, away, away. It's short. One of the things that we tend to do sometimes with these shorter lines, or shorter high notes, is we tend to push up to them and then cut them off, which is what's happening in the original even. But that sets us up for future times of going high in a way that's a bit more unnatural. Away, 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 away. I'm approaching that a lot of different ways. Not that we want to do this in this song because of the way that it's phrased and the way the melody sounds so good already. And the way it was performed was really, really well done. It would be interesting to hear you hold out that note at the top for fun and play with it a little bit. Away! Away! So if we take this line, show you the way. Strum is what's happening. Show you the way. This is really more of a drill and something to try to go beyond this particular song and play with that area of your range and see how free you can make it. Again, nothing done wrong here at all. It sounds wonderful and it fits the song. I really have, that's the main bit of feedback that I have for you. See what else you can do up there. Is that the top of your range? Was it comfortable to get up to that? What else you got up there? It'd be fun to hear that and be fun for you to experiment a bit more with that. Great job. Okay. And number 5. Good day to you as well. Good job, Dougie. Okay, number 5. Nira Nice or Nice. Hello, my main problem is you put too much force into your screaming. But when I don't, the grit just doesn't appear. Okay. I've got a screamer. This will be fun. Very good. Yeah. Away! She got some really nice note roasting going on there. She had a pitch and then let it deteriorate into a nice gritty scream. Very, very cool. This is my favorite type of scream because it's so musical. Away! Her comment is that she feels like she puts too much into it. And I'm going to go back and read that so I can get her phrasing right. Push too much force. When you don't, the grit doesn't appear. So this happens when we are, well, I'm going to talk from my experience. When I am using a note, let's say I'm using a lower note. Hey! And I want to turn that into, so I've got my target note. I've talked about this a lot on the channel. I've got my target note, and I want to turn it into a scream. I invoke my vocal break, and I let myself rest once I'm able to find that in between on my break. Hey! 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 That's what's happening. And you notice it takes relatively little effort, right? Hey! Hey! I'm not like, there's not veins popping out, although I think that there's some times where you do want to be intense when you're screaming. Now, here's where I'm going to tie this into experience and then observation on what was going on in this video from Nira. Sometimes when we're so wrapped up in a note, like, hey, which is a challenging, more mixed note, we're already putting a lot of air into that note. And so when we let things fall apart using our vocal break, hey, there is a tendency to want to push too much and not feel out that break. So in other words, we skip the feeling of that transition into the note roasting or into the scream, and we just push. If you want to use less push, less air, put less into it, you have to give yourself some practice time. And it will happen more instantaneously eventually. But you have to give yourself the chance to sort of fall into the scream instead of push into the scream. Hey! I'm really slowing down the transition, right? Hey! 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 Now I've got the feel! I've got the feel! Yeah! There it is! And it's not terribly tense or intense. I thought they sounded great. And I agree. The second scream was there was no tone involved. The first one, I think, was the one you were really asking the question on. So if you are in that note, practice letting yourself fall apart first and be really ugly with it, and let yourself feel the two worlds come together, your chest and your head voice, which is what's happening when we rest in that in-between, as opposed to trying to get right into it. I realize that sound-wise and performance-wise, that's not what you want, right? You don't want to be in the middle of an intense, cool performance and then all of a sudden sound like you're yodeling or your voice gave out. But in your practicing, by letting yourself fall into it, hey, you're going to be able to tell just how much air you need. And it's not as much as you think. When you just push into it, we automatically default to using too much air. So that would be my feedback. Great job. Great sound. Great performance. Excellent work. Okay, well, there's our 5. That was cool. Let's see. Yeah, and Azu says the same thing. It seems like you're pushing into the break rather than relaxing into the break. That is a much more succinct way of saying what I just took 5 minutes to say. Very, very good job. Guys, again, consider requesting an invitation to the course. I saw a question. Can I explain how to fix breathy singing? There's that one. And then I wanted to address a question about explaining Chris Cornell's mix. I've done a lot of videos on the channel on Chris Cornell's mix. How to start to sing like Chris Cornell would be where you should start. Check out my covers that I've done of Chris Cornell, The Day I Tried to Live, and Spoon Man. And then there is another video I've done called Chesty Middle Mix. You can search all these on the channel. As well as in the style of Chris Cornell, where I actually break down more of Chris Cornell's lines. I've also got a video coming out this next week that includes some Chris Cornell mix. So definitely search the channel on that. When it comes to fixing breathy singing, I found one of the main ways to fix breathy singing is to be more breathy and then dial it back. So, can you do a stage whisper? Hello, hello. This is engaging my upper throat. I talk about this a lot in the course and in my other course, The Aggressive Vocalist's Master Plan of Attack, which you can find by going to my website, chrislipe.com. And that one's an always open course as well. But if we can get a handle on stage whisper, I'm engaging the upper part of my throat and I'm not engaging my vocal cords at all. If we can learn to rock back and forth between true chord closure, primary chord closure, and stage whisper, we start to feel the difference between good closure and poor closure. This is poor closure. Actually, it's no closure. It's using other tissues in our throat. Most of the time, unwanted raspy singing comes from two different things. A lack of breath support, which, again, join my free course at at chrislipe.com or request an invitation to the course, and I help you dial that in like crazy. So, number one, breathy singing, you don't understand how to use your support. Number two, it is unwanted engagement from other parts of your vocal tract. So by dialing in your support and feeling out different areas of the way that your throat can engage, you are going to help fix unwanted raspy singing. And you are going to also be able to put wanted rasp into your singing. Other reasons that you might have rasp unwanted is because you have some swelling on your cords or some mucus creating poor cord closure. That's a discussion on allergies or how to, sing through various ailments, common colds, mild illnesses. I have a video on YouTube called Singing When Sick. Check that one out for more information there. Carol's also been doing the aggressive course. Awesome. It's true. Anyone with vocal folds can sing. It's a mixture of influences and understanding your voice and strengths and weaknesses. G-Money, that is right on the money. Right? We all have the same equipment. We all do the same sorts of things. We just, some of us naturally stumble into things because we've trained ourselves to already be a bit more introspective in certain ways. But part of what I love to do with students is help you to learn how to learn about your singing. And it helps you, what I like to do is help people figure out how to capitalize on sensations that they may already be experiencing, but not knowing how to apply those to singing. Hey, Patricio. Were there any other quick questions? I think I got them. Thank you so much for the submissions this week. This is so awesome. Allergies are serious. Also, guys, go there, www.mymusicalvoice. Some of the people have been referencing the Aggressive Vocalist Master Plan of Attack. That course, as well as some other courses I have at mymusicalvoice.com, are they're always open. Some of them are a little smaller, and you can get into those and get your feet wet, get your vocal cords warmed up. I do recommend a lot of times when you do, those are kind of the gateways or ways to kind of taste a bit more of the engagement on a course level. And then a lot of people will end up going from there and then enrolling in Discover Your Voice. But check out mymusicalvoice.com. Request an invite to the course if you want. Can't hurt. Question about using a tuner. Patricio. Thank you. Thank you for telling me your Patricio. That's great. What do I think about singing? Ooh. Yeah. Salvi, have you experimented with massage therapy and speech therapy? In the first 2 weeks of Discover Your Voice, I actually do a lot of sort of meditation, mindfulness sorts of things. And then the first week, we do a lot in speech level resonance. We don't really sing at all the first few weeks of the course. I would recommend starting with those types of things: speech level therapy, massage therapy, mindfulness exercises. Do I have any tips on recording vocals? I actually have a free recording course, Gloom, at mymusicalvoice.com. Where I go through my entire recording signal chain and I record a MIDI song and I talk about lots of different tips for recording vocals. Every time you try to find your mixed voice, your larynx raises too much and you can't get a hold of it. Music Val, have you checked out my video on YouTube called How Mixed Voice Should Feel? Check out that one. That will help you, I think, get a better feel on how, literally, how to get into your mixed voice. Yeah, free recording course at mymusicalvoice.com. And there's a lot more coming on recording. I'm going to say that right now. There's a lot more coming on recording, and I'm excited to share some of that stuff with you for sure. All right, guys. Until next week, show up early for the email address. Get your submissions in. Thank you so much. This was one of the best yet, I think, in terms of questions and engagement and submissions. So good. Paul asks, can I upgrade to Plus Pro after I've started the course? Absolutely, you can. You can absolutely upgrade if you want to go with the basic version, and then add a consult on afterward, do some of the other things. People will elect to do that. The only downside is if you're interested in Pro, because of the way I tend to book up in terms of private lessons, my private lesson teaching schedule, it's good to not wait too long. If you do want a private lesson, the sooner you get in, the sooner you're able to book out. Anything I want to ask you guys? That's a really good question. Let me think about that. Yes. Would you guys like more recording and geeky tech songwriting stuff on the channel? It's been very focused on vocals. Would you like a bit more recording-centric YouTube stuff? I'll wait for just a second for that feedback to come in. Hi, Eva. Nice to see you here. We have resounding yeses. Okay. Well, I'm going to start adding more of it then. I'm going to start doing more recording-centric videos on the channel. Oh, you'd like to hear some of my originals. Search me on Spotify to hear some of my original music. You can also go to SoundCloud, and I've got some neat covers on SoundCloud. And then you can go to my covers playlist on YouTube to see some of the covers I've done. And I've spent a lot more time, probably believable enough, as on this side, which is coaching other singers. Coaching other people through performances in the studio. So there we go. Well, the vocal focus is not going away on the channel for sure. Choir vocals. Cool idea. All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. This is a Mojave MA300. Most of the mics I use in the studio are Mojaves. We have someone, SVVV says, Chris, please help me. I would love to help you. Shoot me a comment on the video. I would love to be able to speak into your voice a little bit more. He does. He needs urgent help. All right. What can I do for you? All right. A choir vocal. Yeah, like background vocal production stuff, like Queen. Throat is stiff. There's lots of reasons throats get stiff, but the main reason is that we are reaching for pitches rather than allowing ourselves to fall into the pitch. And I'm going to direct you to a couple YouTube videos that I think are going to help you, because I haven't heard you sing. And I would invite you to show up early and maybe submit for a feedback so I can actually see what your troubles are, SVVV. I'll call you Talent Hunt. Too much tension. There's a lot of reasons that tension can be happening. In order for me to really answer your questions well, because there are so many reasons that tension creeps in. There are so many reasons that your throat is stiff. There are so many reasons that fry is difficult to add. I would love to be able to see you sing. So get here early next week and submit something, and I'd be happy to unpack. For now, go to my YouTube video, Tension versus Intensity. Search that on my channel. Tension versus intensity. Also, go to my video that is called The Right Power. Talks about dialing in support. Most of the time we can solve most tension issues, by dealing with our support in a real way. All right, guys. I have to go because I have another appointment in 4 minutes. I have a private appointment in 4 minutes that I said I was not going to be late for. So, got to let you go. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. These are great. Get here early, get your submissions in, and we'll do it again.